I am a Tibetan, and I'm proud to be Tibetan. But I'm not allowed to go to Tibet, and I'm not allowed to see my own father's birthplace. Spirituality will be there in the community, will be there in any country. So you can make a legal and institutional separation, but on a daily basis, to have a clean separation between the two is very difficult. In 2011, His Holiness Dalai Lama devolved his political authority and separated the church and the state. So His Holiness remains our most revered spiritual leader. Now I handle all political and administrative matters. So we have done that. But at a practical level, His Holiness one word is far more influential than 100-page document that I write or take out, right? It's a fact. Religious teachings helps a lot. For example, I follow one mantra, and Shantideva said, he's a Nalanda scholar, if you can solve a problem, why worry about it? If you cannot solve a problem, what is the point of worrying about it, So getting obsessed with the result is where lies the stress and depression and hardship. But rather, if you make efforts to solve, then you are doing your part. That's all you can control. Similarly, Shantideva also said, if someone praises you, why get elated? Because there are others who will be criticizing you. If some people criticize you, why feel down? Because there are others who will be praising you, since you get to this equanimity. So equanimity helps you a lot. So you don't get too excited when good news come. You don't get too depressed when bad news come. You just go. Already you are in a very low situation. You lost your country, Your parents are in refugee camp, On a daily basis, the position that I'm in, right? It's as low as it can get. I run a government in exile, a government without country and territory, a position without perks and bonuses and airplanes, So already this is as low as you can get from, position's point of view. You compare, people call me prime minister, president, compare with any prime minister, president, This is the cheapest, most frugal office that you can ever see. Now, I have to, run things frugally because I have to educate a lot of children. And I have to look after a lot of sick and old people. If I spend money on business class, I will be taking money away from them. We don't segment our life like one moment or next moment, right? As a Buddhist, you are born, you die. What you can do for your community, for the world, that's how you see, It's one life. And in the universe of things, it's just a small flicker, a small dot. You don't matter, That's why, Tibetans, we don't celebrate birthdays. Not at all. I don't know my birthday also, because it's not important. Why? You are born, you have to die, So if you celebrate birthday, then you have to celebrate your death day too. Buddhism strengthened us. That's where the Tibetan resilience comes from, that belief that we are on the right side. What we are fighting for is truth. 152 Tibetans have burned themselves. Now, from Buddhist point of view, it's a bit problematic because it's a violent death. But is it violence? It is not, because none of them have harmed Chinese person or a Chinese police station or a Chinese property or anything, right? So even though they are dying violently, but they are not committing violence. So even at that stage of where one is sacrificing or burning oneself, but not harming others, So that level of, belief in or commitment to non-violence is very difficult. Then there are many other examples, protests against dams, mining, deforestation, protests for language rights, right? All the footages show that Tibetans are beaten up. Very rarely Tibetans react. So that level of non-violence, commitment to nonviolence, for many decades. And that's unique. We think nonviolence is the right way and the best way for us. I am a Tibetan, and I'm proud to be Tibetan. But I'm not allowed to go to Tibet, and I'm not allowed to see my own father's birthplace, where me and my generation came from. And that's like a very personal denial, of your, as a human being, it's being denied to us. So to restore that right that I as a person should have remains a big challenge, Yeah. So that will be our biggest aspiration. So our aspiration is very different from normal human being. Normal humans say, I want tons of buildings and tons of property, things like that, right? Again, the Buddhism comes back and say, hey, okay, you might have the tallest building, but when you die, you have to leave it behind. So, what you leave behind, your contribution to make your community better is more important than any property.